back to the continuing adventures of, whatchamacallit. I guess I don't have a name on this guy. Monster name unknown as he treks through the dungeon. Where last we left off, I had been in the middle of an insanely successful opener with a Null Earth Elementalist who, in a mere 2.5 hours, has already picked up poly-resistance of every variety, shield of the resistance, which is an amazing pickup, a ring mail of RF++, a full set of combat spells, Spellforge Servitor, and Orb of Destruction. Amulet of Reflection, and what else does a man need, right? Apparently, I was starting to make a switch towards more intelligence so that I could get better casting on the Servitor at this stage. And then having poison as a hot swap, I guess. 26% is a pretty good deal. Alright, let's go. So we're 2 runes down, 1 to go. That is exactly why minimizing your fail on Spellforge Servitor is so important. On the other hand, when you can easily beat up a Nameless Horror, it's not the end of the world. You just keep going until you get the one you want. Apparently I killed that guy with reflected damage. I believe I have a few different combos going on this character. I have yeah, that's right. I have Ignite Poison going. I've got BBC, Pure North Foul Clutch to keep things where I need them to be. I've got this insanely fun Blink and Rage optional mace, Morningstar. And yeah, it's good stuff all around. And for direct damage, I'm still at the Stone Arrow level, though I'm clearly making moves to get past that now. And move on to Orb of Destruction. I want you to go ahead and steal that for me. I want you all just get grabbed. And this particular mace happens to also be a Venom mace, so it synergizes very well with the Ignite Poison. I spent the majority of the early to mid and even late mid game lacking a means of not having Ogrebs and using other means to poison things. It's the Irradiate I want. The Ignite that I don't need, but I'm happy to use. You can't poison these guys, I forgot. Let's wade into the middle of them and get a really good Irradiate. For me now, Birdman. Nemelek Zobe keeps wanting to fill up my deck beyond capacity. I don't know if I'm basically doing it wrong, that I'm supposed to be using cards that I don't need in order to have better card rotation so that I can get more of the cards I do need or something. But since you can only stack one deck at a time, or have one stacked deck at a time, and there isn't a peak option or what have you, oh my god, I've done so many acquirements this game. I actually have a purchasable Necronomicon available to me, so I don't need acquired one. Amulet of Kale is very tempting. Give up 5 shield, gain resist poison, RF, strength of 5. We're going to take this. I don't need the resist poison, actually. But I'm never going to say no to a little bit more strength. And the reason it's so relevant is because it frees up my poison ring for good. At the cost of 5 reflect. Now, I'm not downplaying the importance of that reflect, but being able to just boldly wear my int +9 is also valuable. So yeah, we're good here. Also, now I have a resist fire, 1 from the ring and 2 from the shield is 3. So my armor slot is effectively open because I don't need either of the +2 fire that I'm getting from it. So if I find a good artifact armor, which now that I say it, I should look for it. Robe of Vines is interesting. +7 regen is really good. I could have regen MP on an amulet, regen HP pretty heavily there, but I'm doing a lot of face tanking and whacking things with this mace in melee. And since I've already trained armor up to 13, it would kind of be silly to make no use of that skill on my robe. Yeah, I would say that would be undervaluing my robe. I really would like to stick with leather, if not ring mail, if not at least leather. I think I can pull that off pretty efficiently. Still, I wasn't keeping track, but I think that might be the 4th acquirement I've gotten this game. I usually don't bother with seeds since I have no interest in seeded games yet. But if I'm ever looking for a for funsies run or something, this might be the seed to use, man. Every spell a man could want, or many spell a man could want, and tons and tons of acquirements to help get them. And relatively early, pre-S runes, I think it was, a Shield of the Turtle, or Shield of, what's it called, Protection? Resistance, Shield of Resistance. Anyway, this character, in my mind, is not going to have much difficulty dealing with Volts 5. I'm very curious to see if Tomb will be very useful or just, kind of a meh whatever in clearing Volts. It's going to be very interesting to see. You can absolutely ignore all Acrobat amulets from now on. There is virtually no chance of ever using it. Now, I am not wearing Reflect anymore, so I need to bear in mind that I'm not going to kill ranged attackers just by staring at them. I'm going to have to actually attack them back. You get 1 irradiate for free per combat. Usually you can do 2, and after that you really want to wait out the contamination unless you're willing to pay for it. Which, sometimes you are, because it's just contaminate, It'll give you a mutation at worst, whatever. Way better than not having a good option at that range if that's what you need. If you're not even using your 1 freebie, I mean, you should really be using your freebie. Also, these things are poisonable, which means that they're all grabs ignitable, which means I should be doing that for quick clears. You, sir, are not a threat to me. Nor are you, sirs, any kind of threat to me. I do not have resist corrosion active. I have it available, but not active. I think it's great. Stabbed him with a mace by sneaking up on him and whacking him while he was asleep. Right, knockout. Start to reflect, do I? No, okay, good. So far, so good on all counts. Alright, let's see here. Should be enough. Take you out. Okay, yeah, I mean, maybe in new vaults, like the Thunder Hulk and stuff, where all the electricity would change the math. There are electrical enemies in old vaults, but they're not very common, certainly. Alright, I'm actually taking a pound into these rocks. I'm going to back off so I don't die unnecessarily. Cure out, get my ally up. I almost wonder, all the extra strength and poison resistance and stuff that I got from this amulet, maybe despite all of that, it's still actually better to just straight have that +5 with Reflect. Certainly in the shoals, right, or vaults anyway, where there are so many projectile-based enemies. I don't know. Anybody in chat want to weigh in on that, please, by all means, feel free. It looks like, has anybody joined? Looks like we got 1 person on Twitch anyway. Hey, how you doing, man? Welcome. Nope. You, sir, are No threat to me. You could argue that I don't actually even need to clear vaults at this point. I mean, I'm treating the majority of the enemies here as if they were popcorn enemies. I could very reasonably dive to vaults 4, full clear that floor for safety, and just make a straight up assault on the room chamber. But, you know, I am a gnoll, and gnolls, unfortunately, you can't focus train your one good skill. You need to globally train all your skills. And so if I want to get this Spellforge Servitor from 13% to sub 10 and get the power level up, it's going to be important to train all my skills at once. And so EXP matters a lot, in my opinion. Also, we have one of the highest EXP stat gains in the game, so leveling up is going to be faster, so it's taking a little bit extra time to deal with more riffraff. It's valuable, but perhaps the most important reason is because unless you're playing for turn count, which I'm not, or score, which is not my goal to optimize, then it doesn't actually matter to me if I take an extra 15 minutes, 10 minutes per floor clearing out the vaults. It doesn't cost me anything. I guess Piety Decay and a place to retreat for exploration and extra cards. But if I ever met the point where that's a necessity, right where I am now, I could do the Elven Halls. I could throw on a Corrosion Ammy and do the Slime Pits. Or Corrosion Ring and do the Slime Pits. So I have plenty of places I can go to farm Piety if that's what's needed. Okay, this is a bad OTAP. Let's not do that. How about we not do what's bad, shall we? Be careful, that guy has market capability. So I'll bet you, yes, because I forgot about this. Because I'm wearing the best. Oof. Ooh, no. Let's not do that. He's reflecting injuries, so I really like to not get reflecting on. Because I'm wearing the best shield in the game, I have will ++. So I don't actually care about most will-based attacks. I also have a few other sources of will, including my weapon. So anything that's trying to affect my will is kind of a won't instead of a will. Alright, you guys are using electrical and air attacks, so I'm going to stop flying lest I start getting hit with airstrike or something. And not pay attention. Grab you. I don't like big rocks. Let's bring you upstairs and deal with you my own way up here. Alright, very good. Anything left? There's plenty more on this floor. There's a mini fortress by the looks of it. Nothing mini about this mini fortress. I actually have no RN whatsoever. That's actually very relevant when I start seeing shadow dragons and liches and the like. I kind of want to get marked here. I'm not gonna because my will is too high. Is there a way to lower my will quickly? Yeah, if I switch to a non-willed weapon and take off my shield. Yes. So now I have no will, so now I should be able to get marked. Alright, I am marked. Put that shield back on. And the reason I wanted to get marked and did all that intentionally is because I want to draw out everything inside that chamber to fight me here, where they're not going to have a retreater, and defender's advantage, basically. And I won't have to fight them in a bunch of unknown terrain with no safe retreat, which, as you can see, they are making me pay for with every inch already. Let's take a look at Wolf. Wolf. Yeah, see, if I had been inside their chamber taking those electric shots to the face, think how much worse that would have hurt. Instead, he's out here where I can just do this stair dance for days. So I guess from their point of view, it's nice job breaking it, assholes. Mark, you said that he was going to be an easy mark. Yeah, well, he wasn't. Fuck it. Upstairs. Oh, this is okay. Alrighty, now what do we got? It does look like there's a new ringmail, artifact ringmail, so we'll definitely want to check that out. Oh my god, you know how I was just saying I no longer need the benefits of my +4 ringmail of RF++ because I have that without it? Well, guess what? You know how I was complaining I didn't have RN at all? Now I have RN++. At no loss of castability, armor class, bonus, you name it. It's honestly weird. This is like the third time, fourth time this run that's happened. There's been something I needed or was mentioning it would be nice to have, and the game's like, no problem, we'll give that to you. Ultimate acquirement is where the game keeps giving you the stuff you want. Not the stuff you need even, just anything you want. I'm still of the opinion that the majority of the time you have what you need even if you don't know it. If you don't think you have what you need, it's because your needs are too narrow and you're not willing to work with other tools. Or because you're trying to do things one specific way or at one specific speed or level of boldness. You might not have what you need to do it quickly and easily, but if all you're trying to do is beat the game, and beat a 3-room game at that, yeah, it doesn't take nearly as much power. Tools can do with a lot. There's a wide array of ways to win. What do I need to win this game is a question you should ask yourself often, and you should often be able to find the answer to. Or even a couple of answers, and then when one of those hits fruition, then you're good. Very often, one of the biggest limitations you'll hit actually is needing to decide, should I start investing in a less powerful tactic that is sufficiently good eventually, or a more powerful tactic, but it will cap out. So, if I don't get the right items or builds or spells, it won't be good enough. For example, if you're going for Spellforge Servitor plus Orb of Destruction, you might double down on Conjurations early, right? Because you know that ultimately that's your game plan for great damage and victory, etc. However, if you have yet to find the actual spells you need to make that work, or you found one of them without the other, then you have to ask yourself, can I win with only half of this dyad? Should I switch over to training a skill for something I already have, albeit something that I already have that isn't as good as Spellforge Servitor plus Orb of Destruction? Should I, for example, branch off into making my Iron Shot castable? And I guess that's a bad example because with the Orb of Destruction, because either way you're trading Conjuration for that particular form. Alright, enough chit-chat. It's time to attempt Volts 5, and I do think that I can do it. I think the staircase to go down from would be this one, for a couple of reasons. The biggest one being I can potentially blink scroll from here to that upper staircase if things get really dicey. and there's no less surrounded option. I do not have resist electricity. I do have every other resistance. I think for going in here, I would rather have regen MP than have shield +4 on reflect, but I would rather have spirit shield and shield +8, maybe. But I don't want to lose my resistance to poison, so I think this is the configuration I'm going for in the end. That's all excellent. Did we ever memorize statue form, or we just carry it with us? So, while not strictly necessary, I think I should pick up either statue form or Ozo's refrigeration. No, not Ozo's refrigeration. I want to keep the ability to drink potions online. So probably just statue form then. Yeah, seems good. Well, maybe Ozo's refrigeration is worth thinking about. If I had Ozo's refrigeration, I could blast things screen wide, instant speed, instead of Borgnor's, which is slow by comparison. I think I just sold myself on it, so yeah, we're going for it. Yeah, we're gonna do it. And there's nowhere else in the game to get a cheaper refrigerator. Okay, so. Yeah, it's gotta be refrigerate, man. Especially for this specific situation where you want to stay in one place or out of eye line sight of other enemies and still be able to take them down, and you want to do all the damage quickly instead of some of it over time. This could be a better pick. I have plenty of magic potions. I have cancellation, which hopefully works on. Does cancellation work on can't drink potions? Oh, it doesn't, obviously, because you can't drink it. Grrr. Remove slow, confusion, teleportation, petrification, mark flame, mesmerization, fear, devissal, and any other duration effect. Okay, seems good. I have 5 hastes, which should be enough. I have 9 heal wounds, which should be enough. I got 14 brilliances. I think what we're gonna do is go brilliance, and then just go for it. There is a Volt Guard party, of course, but nothing else. So I think a quick flash freeze is the way to start here. We did not get stopped. We are at near perfect everything, and we're just going to head east. Got that big one, right? Yeah, it's not enough big charges to make me good. All right, now let's go ahead and magic map. Okay, the obvious, easiest place to fight from is southeast corner, because all those thin hallways will make for great hiding places. Sorry, this is going too well. I hit the wrong button. I usually put my AoE spell on the letter T, and unfortunately this game there's 2 of them, so I just picked the wrong one. I'm still brilliant, so I guess I can just go to town with Ozos. I don't need to conserve mana or anything. I have the tomb loaded up. If I were to entomb this area, I could make it virtually impregnable to assault and force all fights to be 1v1s. But I'm not a Minotaur or something. I don't actually need to fight 1v1. I can afford to fight many on one, so it's a good thing, but not a necessary thing. That's a Disto Blade. Let's not get too close to him. All right. That is a zap-capable enemy, so let's definitely not get walled in against this guy. I'm on negative potions, so let's not get too engaged until I have lifted that status curse. go. Okay. 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 That's probably not the rune. There's no way I'm that lucky, but if it is, then I am that lucky. Flash freeze these guys. Okay. I guess I am that lucky after all. Okay, we're going to drop an ally and let him win this fight for us. What artifacts am I ignoring here? Robe I will ignore, because even if it's amazing, I would rather wear more AC. This fighting in the bottom right quadrant was definitely the right call. It's allowed me to very much mitigate my being swarmed, the swarm factor. Guardian Spirit with multiple side grades is not interesting to me. I already have a means of see invis, I think. Actually, do I not? I have a dagger that would let me see invis in a pinch, so I don't actually need that. So we're definitely not taking that, thank you. And I have the brooch, so I have a much stronger warding capability if I ever want, for some reason, to switch over to Spirit Shield, my amulet slot. So used to Gazog that when I see the weapon blow up, I wonder how come they haven't turned into gold. Yes, ignore. Yes, ignore. Hell Knight, eh? Great. Super great. Alright, back to exploring. Flash freeze is better here, I think. Alright, well, we now have a safe harbor, which is awesome. We could, in theory, push our way to the stairs and just get out of here and then keep running. And I think that's the correct decision to make, honestly, since I don't need more loot and I don't need more EXP necessarily. But you know, the fun decision is to fight more when you're winning and have a fun win. In order to win a 3-rune game, you do not need to get you do not need to get the next 12 runes. But sometimes it's fun to just overkill and get those runes anyway, right? What is this? Majin Bull. So that would turn all of my spells into vamp-capable spells at the cost of making me pay life to cast them, I think. But it also gives int +6 on a weapon, which is very nice. So we're going to ditch the Falchion of Venom that at this point is pretty much clearly never going to get used, and take that. In the meantime, let's not die here. Can you kill off the one thing capable of hurting me, please? Thank you. Man, I hadn't thought of that. These arrows are like arrow slits. Okay, wasn't banking on a lich. Hold, please. I'm gonna heal wounds just to tip myself up, and then irradiate, grab, acid. This is actually really going poorly. I'm okay, but I could not be. So I'm going to induce Berserk and beat him that way with a heavy advantage on HP, which actually paid off because he crystal speared me. Oh my god, I don't want to die here. Please get me out of this. Please get me out of this. Okay, thank God. Heal wounds times... Shit. I have to take my chances and blink. There's no other correct move. Do it again, as far away as possible. I'm going to cancel immediately and heal wounds and drop an ally in haste. I got stupidly creative there for no reason whatsoever. And now I'm paying for it. If I blink to here, I can be out of sight of all of my damnationers. Or even here. Might be better, but I could be doing it into the range of a crossbow. This character doesn't have to die right now. How much damage does damnation do? Can I out-heal it? 60. I cannot out-heal that. That would kill me, and it's going to happen. There's no way he doesn't cast it. So, if he's definitely going to cast it, I'm definitely going to have to use up my last blink scroll. There's no other option. Do I go here, or do I go here? Here. At 10 HP, I need to retreat. So, here. Then, we immediately heal wounds with, like, crazy. Can they see invisible? Yes, okay, so there's no point doing that. We're going to heal wounds like crazy. That's the first step. We're still... Good. Heal wounds like crazy. That Titan is also bad. Resistance so that we are not worried about the Titan. Continue to roll. Can I blink or should I not blink? No, I should use a deck that I've saved for exactly this moment. I don't know how long those walls will last, but I have to hope they'll last forever. They do not last forever. They did last long enough to make me not about to die. I saved a lot of resources if I had remembered I could do that. Let's go ahead and resist again. Grab you. And flash freeze and just kill everything. Thank you. Now we're going to go back, hide here, and stack the deck of escape again to make sure we can do that. Yes, you can replace my stack. Deck of escape. Escape. Good. I have a tomb loaded. Summon. Destruction. And another escape. Alright. What does the elixir do? I don't actually know. Rapidly restore health or magic. Possibly even an ally. Okay, I think in no particular order, the things that I need are Tomb and Elixir. Tomb, for the obvious reasons, it just saved my game. Elixir, I don't know how fast it heals. Anybody who can answer that, I'm very curious. I would say let's take Tomb for sure as the number one, and all these others are just optional, so... Yeah, we want Tomb, Elixir. Oh, I see, sorry. Tomb first, Elixir, and then it doesn't really matter. I intend to throw away the deck at that point. So you can replace the stack. So I should have Tomb already loaded again. Perfect. And once again, I want to point out that this was all made possible by the fact that I chose my positioning carefully and cleared this very survivable area out first so that I could meaningfully restrict which enemies were up against me at which times, and that I magic mapped so that when I blinked, I had a lot of known space to blink into. There was another blink scroll somewhere in the dungeon, I think, and I just ignored it because it was hidden. Yeah, I'm gonna go get that right now. I don't like being at 0 blink scrolls, and it's worth the detour. There's literally nothing at this depth that's going to threaten me, so I'm not particularly nervous about being in here or anything. Earlier on, it was quite possible that being in here would force me to use up the very blink scroll that I went in there to get, so that's why I waited. I remembered I had this as an out. Okay. Are there other blink scrolls available? Nope. All right, well then, I can't argue that I didn't use the ones I had effectively. I mean, I can. I should have used Tomb instead, but not. Once you allow for the fact that I do not remember my outs, yeah. If I had been a Gazog player, my mercantile abilities would probably have afforded me more store summons, and thus the possibility of having more blink scrolls that way, or other options, other outs. Maybe I would be bribing so that I wouldn't have gotten into that same pickle. But that was not the direction I went. My attempt to be a polytheist, winning with every deity in this game. You, sir, are going to get destroyed. Get wrecked. And now that the scary part's over, this place once again reverts to its usual state of being straightforward. I'll take a phantom mirror. Another thing I didn't consider at the time was silencing the mages that were going to hurl banishment and damnation at me. That could have worked just as well. Then again, at 10 HP, you have to really be nervous if anything kills you at 10 HP. Say you silenced him and did enough damage to kill him, and then the one behind him fired. Say he blinked and the one behind him fired, right? If you survive for 1 turn, that doesn't mean you survive for 2 or 3. Bottom line, I was autopiloting, and because I was autopiloting, I gave up a lot more resources than I should have. And the only reason I didn't die is because I had enough resources to give up. Otherwise, autopiloting at that level can get you killed. Sure. Part of the reason now that I'm full clearing this area is specifically because I used up so many resources, so I'm trying to get some of them back. Right? Pound face. Have fight my way through. You just turn from something that can threaten me to something that cannot, so thank you for that. Yeah, we're gonna drop and run here. It is very important right now for me not to get shot by my ally. He has been known to do that. he gets hasty with these orbs of destruction. On accident, of course, but that doesn't make it any less scary or frustrating to lose to your ally instead of your enemies. Alright, what do we got here? Lightning Spire, Tornado, all the good stuff. Repletion of the missing cards, looks great. Pound the skulls of anything that's still here. That guy would have been dead by now if I'd been using Reflect, because all those rocks would have hit him, but the ones that didn't hit me. Gauntlets of War. Well, I'm glad we pushed through to the end on this one. We are currently using Gauntlets of Nothing, so we will absolutely take the high AC bonus to slayage gauntlets. Thank you very much. This character's equipage becomes even more insane. Alright. I would rate it not worth going through the Elven Halls, given my relative power level. We do have to go through depths yet, so we have a long trip ahead of us. But since we've already full cleared the vaults, we're in no way below the power curve. We're far above the power curve. Doesn't mean we're invincible, just very much, we shouldn't lose now. It's our game to lose, not theirs to win. I'm not going into the Wiz Lab. I do not feel adequately defensive. Stop bothering me anymore. Stay off the ground. I used every wrong spell against them. It doesn't matter. I'm glad I picked up Ozo's Refrigeration, if for nothing else than just for the convenience factor. It is much faster than having to first poison, then deal with the non-poisoned, and then melee the enemies that you're not dealing with, etc., etc. Just blast everything with ice. It is, of course, a huge risk for carelessness, because unlike my usual Gozog play, the minus potion means I can't even use the divine potion abilities. So if I get caught out and need to heal or something, I can't. Any of my traditional methods. I could entomb Elixir. And actually, considering it's the divine healing that the divine emergency button that I lost, that would be a divine replacement. So maybe what, am I advocating for being lazy? I should not be advocating for being lazy. I'm just thinking that if the worst should happen, I should have an instinct as to what the correct answer is. Until then, I will continue to flash freeze and erase mobs at my leisure and for my pleasure. Oh, I came to the depths with the big fat club, knocked everything on its ass. Oh, I came to the depths with the big fat club and asked for a slime bath. My goodness. They do not seem to care about being grabbed at all. They sure do care about being frozen. At least these ones do. Those ones not so much. They care about being blown up. That's kind of the next step. Okay, I'm very heavily corroded. I mean very heavily corroded. I'm like bad shape levels heavily corroded. Radiate. You get one irradiate for free. I used mine. Alright. Half of them didn't even leave the chamber. God bless you, idiots. And then formed into a ultra titanic slime. You know what? There's a fire pit I can hide behind over here, so I guess that's another way I can deal with all of you. I did put on resist corrosion, right? Yeah. That's the only reason that I didn't take a shit ton more damage when I was running away from an acid slime that just kept shooting me. Alright. Ooh, they formed Titan Slime. How scary. It's a shame that I can just negate his damage so easily. And then, how do we kill him? Is he immune to paralysis? Actually, he's incredibly likely to get paralyzed. So we'll just beat the shit out of him paralyzed and then blow him up. More intelligence because I decided to open an unnecessary slime vault. I won't let you guys just come this way, eh? Come out back, I'll show you what you need. Uh-huh. Any more of you want to form up? There you go. You can do it. Is that as big as you guys get? Alright. You already know the drill. You guys do not resist paralysis very well. You're either infinitely willed or completely mindless, and I'm not sure which it is, so. Do not need, will not use. Definitely not going to use this. It doesn't even matter what it is. It's not going to beat the Gauntlets of War. Alright, slime went easily. Mara is scary as shit, but she lacks the ability almost certainly to get through my magic resist, so probably can just, yep, pop her. Pop her nice and quick. Freeze and bail, freeze and bail. Lord Almighty, God Almighty for freeze and bail. You can come upstairs with me. You can look the old-fashioned way. Oh, another puddle. Every time I see a lava pool or a puddle on the floor when I have flight, I smile. I'm like, I have a all else fail strategy now. Pretty sure I have a better hat. I think I have a +3 hat. Oh, that's Baishuzen. Run. Baishuzen isn't actually terrifying per se, but given just how much HP she has, in addition to the fact that there's a transform in phase 2, so I'm never really sure where I'm at along the line, and that I do not resist electricity natively yet. I've learned to treat Baishuzen with a lot of caution. I like to be on a staircase at least, so that I have options. Oh, you guys are gonna freeze up real good. There she is again. Let's run. Did we ever find another staircase up? Oh, they're on the top left, so I have to make my way there if I want to have safety. You know what? I will do this. Why don't you go ahead and get started on her with Orbs of Destruction, and we'll see. Okay, I mean, at that point, you're basically dead, so boom. There we go. Wow. I killed him and my ally nearly killed me. That's a lot of hellhounds. They all die in one flash freeze. I love it. Yeah, I said I don't need Ozo's refrigeration, and clearly my kit was working fine without it, but damn, look how good this spell is. No wonder they eventually nerfed it and turned it to a level 7 spell. It's so good at level 6. Do I want to deal with this? Is there anything invisible in there that I'm not seeing? No. Exchange for a tiny portion of life taken alongside the magic. Every time I cast a spell, redirect the life essence of creature's damage to the caster. Okay, so let's see. What would I be giving up? Evocable Blink and Rage, which I don't use. Will Plus, which I already have better will sources, and Int +3 I would be gaining. So, oh, I can't use it with the shield. Can't use it with the shield is an actual deal breaker for me, unfortunately. I kind of think I do open this door. I think I'm okay. At least against what I can see, I'm okay. Mass Poison and Ignite. And that'll take them all out. What is dealing so much damage to me? I'm not entirely sure, and I don't want to. I'm getting flayed. That's why. Then let's definitely flash freeze the flayer. I'll get all my health back. And grip again, and ally. Kind of want to contain them at this door. Kind of just want to run for it. It's literally a fight or flight moment, and I haven't made up my mind yet. Yeah, it can't hurt. So, okay, good enough. We got most of them killed, and we did not die. So, I would call that a win. Certainly, any landing you can walk away from style win. Stop them in their tracks. Blink. I believe last time I had to deal with those dragons, I paralyzed them and stabbed them. This time, it isn't as scary. I have RC++. Which, hilariously, I earned because last time they were guarding the shield, along with 2 red dragons. Okay, we do not need a lot of this stuff anymore. I'm gonna ditch the immolation scrolls. I don't need the box of beasts either, but I'd rather have a full suite of evocables. Alright, another floor down. As soon as we torch your face. Freeze it all, baby. Freeze it all. So, again, I'm getting careless because this is the depths. You can absolutely get hit by 4 caustic strikes moving at rapid speed that you roll low on damage against with your 2 or 3 crazy pops, and the next thing you know, you're at 10 or less MP, far away from a staircase with no blink scroll. You know, I'm saying it, and the exact scenario starts to play out. It's a good thing that I was at least thinking about this. We're just going to lock them down here and take them out. I'll take one upstairs with me, that's fine. Okay, I'll irradiate and then kill them both. I think I have another solution. Did I take statue form? No, I never took statue form in the end. Statue form is super effective against them. But this is a big part of why I'm still wearing the stinking resist corrosion ring. Lightning damage, there are only a handful of enemies that are really going to use it against you. Boy, howdy will they use it against you, but there's only a handful of them. But acid damage, there's a bunch of enemies. Yeah, I guess they're equivalent, I would say. There's a lot of there's acid damage and there's electric damage. Both of them can hit in really heavy, painful bursts, and if you're unprepared, you can die. I don't have a source of resist electricity, and I'm keeping a source of resist corrosion near at hand at all times. I would rather be running 5 or 6 intelligence lighter for that trade-off, and perhaps having 1 or 2% more spell failure to cope with. Let's get out of here. See, I don't resist electricity, and that guy was definitely taking advantage of it. God, I wish I had Mage and Bow. Every one of these would probably be healing me to full. I say probably, but I actually don't have a clue what the formula on Mage and Bow is, because every late game that I get there, I'm already trained, or like my shield. So I can't imagine a spell vampirism is nice, but you know what's better is to not lose HP. And a shield does that for free and buys you another slot for cool artifact abilities, resistances, etc. You'd have to give up a slot. Still, N plus 6, MP plus 6. I'll tell you what I would really like. I'd like Mage and Bow on a ziggurat completing Djinn. Because then you always are going to have huge clusters of enemies. You are almost certainly equipped with spells that work well in a ziggurat capacity, right? Your health is your magic, so you're both healing and restoring mana every time. It actually sounds really tempting. If I ever get a multi-zig capable Djinn, I should be able to guarantee the spawning of Mage and Bow just by running long enough. On the other hand, if you're a multi-zig capable Djinn, you probably are already rocking a really good. That's the other problem. Like, how many great shields will you have seen at that point that would make it feel even worse than I would feel right now giving up this shield? Yeah, I don't know, man. It's interesting questions, and I do not have the answers to. What I do know is that this 3-rune run is going fantastic. For the sake of keeping my streak, I should put such thoughts of further experimentation out of my mind and just be satisfied that knocking off another background for GreaterGnolling, another deity for my main account. Yep. Also, yeah, I was surprised to see that I have not won an Earth Elementalist before. I know during my attempts to become a great player, I worked on a Deep Dwarf Earth Elementalist at some point, I believe. I thought that I succeeded with that, but apparently didn't. Probably I extended the DDIE in the end with leveling. Such a grind, man. I never want to be like Deep Dwarf again. Well, I've heard Deep Dwarf Jiva can be a lot of fun now that Jiva's regeneration has been improved to actually be helpful. I don't know. But I hear a lot of things. Be amazed what you can hear in prison. Are you guys like all wielding disto blades or something? Yeah, that's a cool mini vault. Bunch of kobolds with disto weapons. Surrounding an altar of Lugona the Corrupted. Fire a couple of these off at you. Nope. I'll burn you up. You know how I stacked the deck forever ago? Clearly it hasn't impacted my ability to get back those cards or that piety. I would say this is a build that does not need a deity at all. And so you can safely use your deity for excess power or excess growth. Int plus 7 on leather is nice, but RN is really good, so I don't think I'm changing. Boots of Flying are nice, but RN plus to go to max is nicer. For sure. At least in most situations. I'll keep the Boots of Flying in case I find myself in a situation that calls for them, but overall, that just does not seem to be the way to go here. Everything else here looks okay. Apologies. I'm just kidding. Let's see. I don't actually need any of it, and I'm keeping all of it. It's so dumb. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna ditch the enchant armor scrolls because at this point we're wearing pure artifacts almost. So now I have perfect RN, RF, RC is solid. My stealth is very high. It's a good password. Has there been resist electricity given to me? No, unless I want this cloud. I don't even know how good that is. Otabi. They should seriously make a deity called OTAB, Otab, and then flood him with abilities that allow a character to OTAB. Or give piety for OTAB behavior. Inaccuracy with N+5. Acrobat with RF minus plus. I don't like any of this. No resist electricity, no interesting ability combos. Just done. Alright, Dex 5, and then we are almost out of here. I've been getting paralyzed next to a gold dragon and not paying attention. What was this guy using? Quick blade with a buckler of the resistance. No wonder I wasn't able to take him out in 10 seconds. Jesus. GnEE is nuts. Most characters would not be able to get 16 in 5 categories by Zot in a 3-room run. I know. Everyone focuses on the fact that I can't get 22. But the truth is, there aren't a lot of skills that you have to get to 22. Or even want to get to 22, really, in a 3-room run. And you think of the flexibility. You can do anything with these abilities, and nobody cares. Nobody can stop you. Okay. Push our way down. Push it real good. I should seriously try a run where I don't full clear floors at all. Where I full clear maybe the first 6 dungeon floors, and then I stop full clearing for the rest of the run, and I just focus on going further. Like, I come up with a mental formula for my level, and if I'm on floor X and my level is at least Y, then I don't bother clearing it, I just dive past it, and see how fast I can go. If I dive the S branches instead of full clear the S branches, I'll bet you I can go much faster. But I'm not trying for a record. I mean, I'm sub 4 hours pre-Zot. That's not bad. It's not bad at all. It helps that I now have skills that don't need to be targeted, aimed, etc. I can AoE poison, AoE flash freeze, AoE ignite, etc. And by the way, poison and ignite poison, yeah, they're still relevant now. So it's not like those are early game and then they're useless. They definitely drop off in the mid to late game more. And extended, I would argue, Pandemonium does not have a lot of poison vulnerables. But right through Zot, you get them. No. Not really. I'll take the cash. That's the other thing. I haven't really done any grinding for EXP per se. I've full cleared the floors I've done, but I haven't gone through Crypt and Elf and dug new pathways or anything like that. I haven't spammed turns on a floor to spawn out of depth, anything like that. And look at this. Mass castable everything. Even Shatter is starting to become castable. Actually, hold the phone. If I find a source of wizardry, I could actually possibly cast Shatter by the time I hit Zot 5. That'd be amazing. For now, I just have Tomb online, which, now that I think about it, might be the key to doing lungs. Yeah, think about it. If you double tomb the lungs, do I have double tomb or single? I have single tomb. If you double tomb, you could teleport, show up in the lungs of Zot, make yourself a sanctuary, dig yourself out in the direction you're interested in going. I feel like there's potential there, but I don't know how to see it through yet. Hey, stay put for a while, my guy. I'll be right back for you. Okay, fine, I'll kill you. This dungeon has spawned 0 scarves, and I find that hilarious. Okay, this is not a good spot to be all of a sudden, so let's... Oh, thank you. I was going to blink. Can you blink me instead? Instead of trying to loom me off the stairs, let's just go up together. Another place to consider diving if you're actually thinking about your time at all is Zot 5, right? Or Zot pre-5, Zot 1 through 4, because again, I'm basically strong enough to just waltz through here, not counting these electricity that I still have not found an answer to that I'm comfortable using. Jeez. Maybe what I need to do is actually wear the Storm Dragon on. Maybe that would be the solution. The encumbrance penalty is very high though, so that is not a first, second, or third plan. Let's call that plan merely a terrible idea instead of the terriblest of ideas. Lock that guy in place. Alex, you always think I have enough cards. I wish I was able to continuously stack more decks. That would be fun. Like if I could have 7 stacked decks, so I would treat each deck stack like it was just its top card. And then I could have the ability to multi-escape. Yeah, we'll do it this way. Previously discussed, my resistance to fire is so great that I can actually cast Ignite Poison while standing in Poison Clouds and not even notice. Less than 10 damage. Alright, we're good. Next floor. Oh my god, Absolute Zero and Firestorm, man. It's a shame that I'm actually just streaking right now and trying to fill out because I could so go for Extended now. I've got a Necronomicon. I've got every post-endgame spell. I've got so much power. I've got the Shield of the Resistance. I've got Poly-Resists all filled out. It's definitely worth considering, but I have a goal, and my goal is to just this year. My goal is, I should say broadly this year, my goal is to try and become greater null instead of just great player, which I already have done, or greater player, which that's the next step. Would be great null, where you win with every variety of null you can. That being said, I wasn't looking to play necessarily another game right now, so I'd rather have this record be open for when I'm ready to load the next character. Hold. Oh, you're too kind. I'll pick you guys out the old-fashioned way. Nope. Nope. What is it that's hurting me? You feel your power leaking away. Ah, shit, not this guy. Alright, let's do this. We'll get an irradiate for free. I'm gonna get melee orb of destruction to finish the job. I don't know what just went wrong, but something just went very, very wrong. I find myself with Quicksilver Dragon in melee. Let's just teleport before things get much wronger. It just got wronger. He negated my teleport attempt. Shit. Mirror him, and we should be okay now. Look each other up. I'll stay here and take pot shots. I actually got killed by a cursed toe recently because I came after a long break, and whenever you take a long break from your character, you often forget the limitations and strengths of that character, right? Well, I went into Zot and I just started doing the thing I'm doing now, where it's like refrigerate. I didn't notice a cursed toe in the screen with me until I had refrigerated it a few times. So naturally, I was locked out of potions, and then it cast Confuse and confused me, and I could not cure out of the confusion. A few turns later, I was surrounded by fungi, and then I died. Completely avoidable death. I'm gonna drink resist, I think. No, you know what? This is the wrong time to drink resistance because I can always just leave here. Now I cannot always just leave here. That's a really painful vault for someone who doesn't resist electricity, so let's pull one at a time and deal with them. We're gonna need to hit you with orbs. I need to stand in the corner so that I can get double and triple zapped. Mostly so that you can't blink behind me and kill me with my own orb. Pull, blow you all up, and freeze you all dead. These cold-blooded dragons get slowed by the freezing effect, so that's super effective. Ignite poison from the inside, freeze, pull, hold you in place, and burn you out from the inside. Very, very scary vault. Bad enough by itself, but even more so if you do not have resist electricity, and I very much do not have resist electricity right now. Oh, and now it's bad if you don't resist corrosion. I see what they're going for here. Yes, just please. What's next, assholes? You guys don't resist poison, huh? Good to know. Oh, look! It's a shard shrike. I'm not thinking that that's gonna hold them forever, but it's gonna help. Alright. You get one, and boom. Okay. Cleared the ice. Here. Don't care. Next. Alright, we got out of that opener. Still alive. Fortunately. And we're still not on the bottom of Zot. We've got a couple floors left. At this point, victory is more likely than not, but that is not to say it is guaranteed by any stretch of imagination. There's the first torment. There is my response to torment. Please stay on the leader. I've been double tormented, so we're gonna get out now. Just get out. Get out. Okay, I think I can take this thing. I think my will is enough to resist most of what he does. But you'll notice that I am very careful not to lose my potion access. There we go. So far, so good. One moment. Okay, back to the grind. How are we on Shatter, by the way? 95% in ring mail. That's cool. The ring mail penalty is probably not that great at 15 armor training or so, but it probably still exists. And so I'll tell you why I keep going back to Shatter specifically. In a 3-rune game, as a rule of thumb, especially for a Gnoll, you're not likely to get level 9 spells at a point that you can spam cast them. It's just the truth. But I was going to try to stab him, but he didn't let me. Rats. Alright, we'll do this the old-fashioned way. Link. Shoot him, please. Shoot him, please. Jesus. Are you blind monkey at the steering wheel here? What was I saying? Yeah, you're probably not going to get them spam castable. But Shatter in particular is both useful as an offensive action tool and as a strategic tool because it can destroy all walls, including not destroyable walls. If there is, say, a vault that is dangerous to enter from the intended direction, but safe if you were to like crack it from the outside, right? Or in every game there is Zot 5, and Zot 5 is very dangerous inside the lungs if you walk in through the heavily trapped front door, and has a very long retreat distance to the relatively safer northern area that's more easy to clear out and has staircase access. Well, if you get to the end and you clear out what you can reach safely, you can potentially use Shatter on the doors of the lungs to crack a hole in them and thus force out the creatures inside from their hiding positions. You do that, then you can drain out the lungs with relative ease. Oh, there's a blink scroll in there. I wasn't going to go in, but I do want an extra blink scroll. I only have one, and two is much. I have three. Where did I get three? I don't need to open this then. I got three. I don't want to open it anyway, though. Yeah, I'm going to do the dumb. Whoa, did not think that through. Somehow I thought that they would not be able to distill me yet. There's a lot of electric users here, so let's trigger a teleport right away. This is where apportation would have been nice. Right, we almost got out, but we did not. We're heavily contaminated, but we do not want to drink our way out of that just yet. Now we can drink our way out of contamination. Cancel, please. Cancel again. I'll take white contamination, that's fine. Right. Well, we reopened a new offensive. That's interesting. All this for a blink scroll. The thing about blink scrolls is they're not just useful now, they're useful all the way on the escape as well. So yeah, I'm not overvaluing it to say that getting a blink scroll is worth a little bit of pain. It sure is. It truly is. And it's not like my character is immune to damage that I'll never meet it. I am always in crawl just a few bad turns away from totally screwed. I don't know where he keeps disappearing to, but I don't like it. Oh, he's blown up. That's where he disappeared to. Where do you keep disappearing to? Well, sir, you killed me, so I was dead. And then you couldn't see me anymore. Because I was dead. Oh, man. You can forcibly relocate me because you're a goddamn shifter. Hey, anybody want to come out and play? Thank you for getting me out of harm's way that time instead of landing me on a Zoth trap. Somehow I got through all this without being mutated. That's good. Now I can just pick the loot, so that's even better. Steaming pile of int plus 8. Wow. So the harm is obviously a mixed bag. It's better than it is bad, but it is still bad. But the int plus 8 is undeniably awesome. I'm going to take this with me too. I think what's going to end up happening, you'll see later, but for now, this is all keepable. Sure. This is not usable. This is usable. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and make sure all the staircases are wide open, because I'm sure that there's a lot of enemies that got released recently that I did not actually kill. I don't need to kill them all, but I do want to do a quick sweep to make sure this floor is still secured. Alright, let's do a quick sweep. Alright, all ups and downs have been checked. Let's go. We have enough mapping now to map literally every other room we're likely to come across, so I'm going to start mapping the rooms a little more liberally now, since I know that I've already full cleared the entire dungeon in depths. It's not like I'm going to need it for the escape. If I get Abyss, it's not like I can use these scrolls in the Abyss. I have no intention of entering post-extended. The end game or the post-end game. I think at this point I need to rename Stone Arrow so that I stop using it and I start remembering to use Orbs of Destruction more liberally, because there's very few scenarios in which I should not be using Orb of Destruction for my untyped damage usage. Unless, of course, I'm just letting my ally do it, which is perfectly reasonable. Oh, I do not like all these skulls. They seem to betoken a more undead heavy ender. I much prefer freezing things to having to kill them with untype damage. Okay. Hold you in place. We're gonna keep running away here, actually. This is not a good engage, and this is not a good place to be engaging. We need a freeze or two here just to eliminate all the mobs coming towards me. That's all it took. And another one just to get rid of the last resurrector. Okay. Now we were marked, so remember how I said all those skulls betokened a undead heavy level? Here are all the undead that I was worried about. And by worried, I don't mean worried as in, oh god, what am I going to do? Worried as in prepared to be irritated. Vault was like that whole mini vault was like a mini crypt, I guess you could say. When you freeze an ice draconian to death, you know you have a lot of power. Go kill that thing. I love that the Spellforce Servitor doesn't turn on you even when you freeze it. Of course, it doesn't take damage when you freeze it, so it really shouldn't. So I'm glad it doesn't. Come back, guys. I love you. This is not good, so we'll hold you. And blast you. I'm out of power, but not out of raw power. Aha! I have drained the wizard's magic. You know that this particular wizard has 200 HP, 30 AC, and likes kicking people's ass, right? Gulp. Whoops. You just made him very angry. Alright, good enough. Come at me, bros. You resist poison. Can you resist fire? Oh wow, what a crypty area this is. La 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 la. Let him go, stay on the leader. La la explosion and fire. Okay, I do not care for fiends and torment. That's pretty much all of them. This Zot 4 is worthy of Zot 5. That's not true, but it feels like it's true. Oh my god, a free Necronomicon and Necromutation right as you would be reaching the point of the game where you want it. And I have total castability on Necromutation, 17%. This game is begging me to go extended right now. Positively begging me to go extended. I don't know why I'm refusing to hear the call. Like, this is a wet dream for a wizard who wants to go extended. To have total castability and Necromutation at 3 runes in. 3 runes in. I haven't even gone to Elf yet. Poly resist, except for resist electricity, which you still need to get. My God, this is nuts. But I would prefer to get my streak, and I'm literally looking at the lungs, so we're gonna go for the 3 streak. So anybody who's still watching, stick with me, and hopefully before the 5-hour mark, this run will be concluded, and will be a streaky run. I do not need to polymorph. I could not polymorph. I would not go to Dusseldorf. I would not shoot it in the head. I would not worry because it's dead. I would not torment. Hellfire shot. I don't know how much loot I've got. I would acquire, yes, it's true. All these things I do for you. That would be a nice pickup. Tremor stones, but I'm not going to memorize application for the sake of getting it off of the Zod trap. I'd rather step on the Zod trap and just not think too hard. So many dragon armors all over the place. Hey, buddy, come out here. I'm not going in there. Make as much noise as possible. I want to track the whole cotton picking dungeon. So something. How long must I search to find a real challenge? Pretty ballsy firing right there, sir. Right up on top of your boss. You know what happens if you shoot your boss in the face? Nothing. That's what I'm scared of. Okay. Lungs are, we have cleared out up to the lungs, so now I can finally show you guys what I kept saying about Shatter in action. That's a teleport trap, that's a bunch of blink traps. If I were to enter the lungs through here, go all the way in, blink my way over that mess somehow, walk into here, and then see 3 orbs of fire and an ancient lich in a tight position and need to retreat, I would start going out this way, waste a blink scroll getting over here, or desperately try to random blink my way in, all while they're dispersing me in circles and shooting at me. It's a nasty place to be. If that same group chased me up this way, I have a clear line of sight to the exit with plenty of places to hide. No traps. But I can't dig through this wall. Alright, well, what if we shatter it? Well, it's 89% to fail, which means in 10 casts, I probably get it done. Okay, but those are terrible odds. Yes. But this is why I say strategic tool versus action tool. I don't need to cast it every time. I just need to cast it once. So, what if I take this weapon off and put on Mage and Bow for the extra 3 intelligence? I'll have to take off my shield. Done. Okay, so now, what if I do that? 85%. 4% improvement. We made some progress. Okay. What if I ditch the corrosion ring and put on the intelligence ring? More value still. What if I put on the int +7 corrosion ring that I didn't know I had with AC +4 and Dex +7? Jesus Christ, when did I get that? Well, I'm definitely putting that on, and I'm never taking that off. So thanks, but no thanks for this one. 63%. Better and better, better and better. What if I swap around to wearing the gloves, the cursed gloves of disaster? Another 8 intelligence, albeit at the cost of putting harm on. Well, 45% is downright castable, right? Like, it's not great, but it'll get the job done. Okay. Well, let's go for it. We're standing very far back. We're going to crack and then run for the stairs. We are admittedly a little exposed here. We're not very heavily resisting, etc., but we don't need to be. We just need to get off our shatter. We got it off, we blew it open, and we're immediately off we go. Now we're going to put back on all of those resistances that we left behind that we consider more valuable in the long term. We're definitely going to put on our... Wait, am I not wearing the shield? Oh, right, I have to take off Major No first. Alright, and now put on the shield, please. Alright, so now we have maxed out will again. That's where I want it to be. Yeah, I kind of want to switch to the Amulet of Reflection, or maybe even the Brute of Shielding temporarily, just to give myself that extra oomph right now. Oh, but that costs me a pip of Resist Fire. Yeah, no, I want max out Resist Fire, so this is fine, this is fine. Okay. Yeah, let's go back in there. Oh, was there something else I switched around? I think I switched rings. Int +6, int +7. I took off Arc Corrosion. I kind of think that's okay for the moment, but I have to be aware that I'm not corrosioning, that I am corrodable. All right, minus 10% max HP permanently. That's pretty awful. You, stay put while I irradiate you. Thank you. I have no idea how much nasty I have released into the world by that move. So let's just really quickly throw up a blanket do not enter. For all the same reasons as we've had the last one. There was apparently an orb of fire at large, so we're going to make our way to the exit and hope that all this noise attracts it closer. Okay, we still don't have resist electricity, and that's a bad, bad place to be. I keep saying that there's a ghost at large here. Oh, because I never opened this. I'm never gonna. Jesus, I'm never gonna open that. This is actually the best staircase to come out of when I'm on the orb run, now that I think about it. It's by far closer than any of the other downstairs and in a much less exposed location. I am going to mark this for myself so that I know to try to specifically come to this staircase when I do the orb run. Okay, the orb of fire keeps coming in and out of view, and I keep not seeing it. There it is. Target that sucker and do not hold back. I'm trying to stand in between him and me for polymorph purposes, and it looks like we pulled it off. No more malmutation. Okay, so we did good on the first side. We do not want that dispersal triggered, so let's get out of here. Should be another way to trigger this. If I could find an alarm trap. I can't. There are some. Oh, here's an alarm trap. Very conveniently located, too. Ah, but rats, it's on the other side. If only there was a way to dig my way through this. I know! At 67%, I'm just going to take my chances. Let's get full mana. Fire. We did it, and we opened it, so now we can back off just a little bit and explore with caution. Caution has paid off. There's an ancient lich pincering me from the other side. We're just gonna keep running until we've secured a staircase, and then we can decide what to fight. You are worth fighting. I'll flash freeze the room. I'm gonna get out of here. I just realized that flash freeze means no potions, and no potions means that you can get silenced and really badly hurt sometimes, so. Killer clown pie. Yeah, I'm okay with this. I'm okay with just going to town on one of you. You know what? Irradiate should get them both. Perfect. Good on all of you. And is that it? Do we just win? Feels like we just win here. You might notice our HP keeps going higher and higher. That's because we're gnolls. We're still training, fighting, and doing a really good job of it. Wrong button. Wrong button times 2. Let's get out of here and keep putting the distraction golem down. And just remember, all this running fighting I'm doing now would have been happening, but underneath the watchful eye of from deep within the lungs with no safe retreat, and with God knows how many distortion and not distortion, dispersal traps firing. So just the fact that I was able to shatter those chambers open means that I get to do those fights from the relative safety of easy stair retreats and dancers. Armor fits poorly, that's fine, I can deal with that. It's a loss to AC, but it's not game ending. And how many mutation potions do I have? 4. That's enough. It's not a ton though. If I had 8, I'd say let's play mutation roulette and see if I can get something better. So far, so good. Okay, we poked our nose all the way in this time. That was more than I intended, but not more than I need. Let's again do a quick round of exploration to catch all those not yet noticed creatures. Like this one. Because you see how he cast a spell and summoned a CZ Mythal? Those CZ Mythals can do both heavy damage to Holy and heavy damage via Torment, so they're very dangerous. Even as I say it, I realize, don't I have access to Nectar Mutation? Yeah. So let's just Amnesia away 3 spell levels. Where's that? That's something I've capitalized. Stone Arrow? Yeah, get out of here. And put some Nectar Mutation. Not that I'm going to use it, but if the situation ever comes up where being a lich would be preferable to being a human, now I can do that. For example, you find yourself unable to use potions anyway because you drank, cast Breezy Pop, and you happen to be near a torment-capable cursed hell. Well, definitely a situation where you're better off slipping into Necromutation first to preserve 90% of your HP. You come upon a Panlord. Mm-hmm. All right, well, we have done a pretty good job here to so thoroughly decompress this chamber that I'm actually having a hard time getting a fight at all. It's probably time to ring the alarm bell. If not actually time, close. There we go. Alarm bell rung. Let's get out. There are ways for enemies to come at me from literally any of the lungs now, and they will almost certainly make use of this. As you can see. Okay, we have been malmutated twice. One of them gave me bad vision, and the other one took it away. Once again, we're going to do the slow and steady fight since we've decompressed the orb chamber. This, by the way, is the safe way to play. Obviously, the fast way to play would just be to go in there, smash and grab, even teleport and blink since I have enough resources to do it. But I generally, my greater joy in this game comes from being safe and streaking, or winning consistently and reliably, or winning with less tools because I use them better. not from gimping myself to place in an inadequate fashion because I was in a rush. And then, of course, being in a rush anyway, because that is, I'm impatient. We're pretty deep in the lungs now, and I do not think I'm going to get stopped anymore. I got marked again, so this is a good time to retreat. If my supposition is correct, these are the orb guardians that literally sit on the orb that are coming out right now, which means that my actual orb run is all but fully secured at this stage. Or not orb run, sorry, my actual theft of the orb, whenever I go for it, is all but fully secured at this stage. Every time contamination comes off cooldown, I should irradiate again. Alright, looks good. Cleared, cleared. Orb present and cleared. Not sure how to check the seed, boys, but whenever this run concludes, pay attention to this seed. It is a Monty Hall treasure of acquirements, a pre-S-Rune shield of the resistance, and all kinds of amazing spells, followed by even more amazing spells and even more amazing spells. This is if you want to go extended mage, this is the way to do it. Okay, we've full cleared this floor, so I don't think there's anything more to do but get out. Let's drink a mutation potion or 4 until we have good mutations. Harder to cast, but better. Not that much harder. And robust. My God, if ever the game was yelling at me, don't go play extended, we'll give you every tool, this is it. I already have a 78% castable Firestorm, or Absolute Zero. I don't need it, man. I'm already maxed out level. These skills are all 16 plus. But I'm here for a reason, and that's what I'm here for. I got enough haste to make it through, so I've already stacked the deck. Tomb is not what I want for the orb run necessarily, but it will get me out of a jam if I'm in one, so that's good. Okay, off we go. Are these dispersals? Oh, thank God. I was like, if that was a teleport, that was the shittiest teleport ever. That's a decent one. That will be enough. I think this is the staircase I had marked to use, so we'll use that one. What are you capable of, sir? Silence. A lot of other shit. Nothing that actually scares me except that silence. And even that silence doesn't scare me that much because I'm not in a trap. I keep thinking in terms of when to bribe, and then I'm realizing I can't bribe yet without being a Gazagite. Normally I'd be bribing my way out right now. Let's Lich form right now, just since that's the one thing that could go wrong, is being nailed by him. And then we'll keep rolling out. You know what the best way to deal with him is going to be is Freezy Pop. Probably takes 1 cast. Okay, took 2 casts. Right now I can afford to haste pretty liberally. I've already made it out of any of the places where I would actually need any extra help. Mutate, just for ultra safety. I mean, I have perfect will. The odds of being confused are minimal. Good. How do I get out of here? It looks like he's standing on the staircase, if I'm not mistaken. He is. So let's see if I can convince him to leave them, and then just blink onto them myself to get out that way. Are you killable? Font, abjuration, blink. Yeah, you don't have anything that scares me even a little bit. Abjuration is the closest you have to being scary, and it's not that scary. But you are immune to poison. I'm not used to that, so I'm just gonna have to do this to you. There's no need to kill that Panlord, but I sure am glad I did. Because it's going to be the highest XP enemy that I killed in this game. Whew. Good game, everyone. I think I accidentally... Yes, I believe I accidentally cast Shatter. Well, let's do it on purpose. It's part of my victory dance. Yeah, kill them all. Multiple miscasts on Shatter. And all of Zot for that to happen. Alright, that's it. GG. Alrighty. And I'm gonna pull this more file onto the... What the hell? Let's try that again. There we go. So for anyone curious, there is the game seed. And I will shoot that out here as a message, because this has been in, I should specify though that I am playing version 0.6. One of the absolute best runs I've ever had in terms of the sheer value of stuff that I was given by the game. So RNG giveth, RNG taketh away, but that was some really good giveth. Alright. I think that's everything. A win's a win. And that puts me on a streak now. A 3 streak, which is great. Also, it doesn't look like I got credit for killing that Panlord. Maybe that just wasn't the... Oh, I did. It's just not as dangerous as some of the other things I've killed. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.